Welcome back to Echo Ridge and another episode here in our max dupe run. It is cycle 91, we have 33 dupes, and we're digging sort of serious into our muckroot backstock. That issue should be solved as soon as these dust caps finish growing. I'll feel better about it then. You'll also notice that there's a bunch of disinfecting going on, and that's due to all the slime lung germs, touching all the buildings because all the mushrooms are fed with slime. So we are going to temporarily disengage the automatic disinfections. We don't have to worry too much about the slime lung itself, because the only way the dupes can get it is by breathing it. And now that we have masks down here and there's not as much work to do down here, the slime lung rate in the colony should be doing a lot better. We have this pump taking out all of this water. Hopefully it can do it within the next 48 cycles so I can cap this and then clear out the rest of these tiles. And that should pretty much... Oh no, we still got some bits and bobs over here. That should take care of this. And I'm sure I'll find some onesies and twosies around here, but that's not a big deal. I'm also going to start digging through here, and also here, and also here. But this is going to be the priority because I need to put a spawn right here sooner rather than later. We are already 3 duplicates over our oxygen supply. Not too big of a deal because we also have a sublimation station that helps support some of the oxygen and a bunch of deodorizers that are cleaning all this polluted oxygen that continuously off gases from the polluted water. So oxygen is looking pretty good, but it won't be the more dupes we get. Speaking of which, we have another 2 cycles before the next one comes. Oh, that's right. I'm also digging out this area here because it's time for some more cots. If you remember, I ended up removing the cots from this level because I was like, well, I don't want cots on my printing pod level. And well, here we are. We're gonna go with the lab cot. Is that what it's called? Yes, lab cot. And this, once again, temporary solution, I'll get to change around as soon as I can. I'm starting to think longer terms, but so far have not come up with a good solution. Now, all the dupes coming up through here will be in masks, which is good. And I'm thinking about sealing this entire place off because right now it's going to be bleeding all of its chill into the surrounding area. And I do not want that, since I'm going to be using that chill to cool our next spawn. So I think I'm going to seal off with some insulated tiles there. Also seal off with some tiles there. And then actually just dig up all of these tiles. Now, it's going to be a slow process because I have to remove a couple, then add some insulated tiles, and then just keep going. But that way, all this chill sort of stays contained. So the oxygen cooling system will last as long as possible. And since we are here, why haven't they gotten to this? Oh, because I canceled all the digs. We had other things going on, no big deal. All of this water, of course, will drop all the way down this shaft and then split with the priority going over here, which our coolant is still at 30, and then the waste is sitting at 37, so I'm not too concerned about this. Eventually, all this is going to be cleaned and turned into oxygen as well, but for now, that is not the priority. We are ready to start churning out some steel, and I'm going to need it for some natural gas generators, which I think is going to be the priority today. Yes, I'm going to be working on the spawn, but I'm going to be doing most of that in the background. With 6.4 tons of iron, I can start making at least a few pieces of steel. Let's start off with a 25. We've collected 230 kilos worth of lime, so steel production is underway. And once we have them, I will be able to get into here, tap this natural gas geyser, and also, where'd you go? There's another one around here somewhere. Stop being sneaky. There it is. Now, I am going to want to try to conserve all of this natural gas as much as possible because this is 5 kilos each tile. Plus, I'm also going to have to analyze this, and this is going to be one of those instances that I'm playing it harder instead of smarter. What I should be doing is putting in suits. That way the duplicates don't have to work in here in the natural gas. But there's not exactly a lot of opportunities to put suits here. In the end, it would limit our duplicate labor because, well, not as many dupes could come out of the base. I think it's also time to extend this fire pole. Ooh, I'm down to 400 kilos of copper ore. That's not great. There's some up here. Let me go grab it. I am keeping a steady eye on the calories. We're down to 54,000, but we really do have a lot more food starting to come in, to include the grub fruit plants. We're still running meal lice, which is not great because we're down to 72 tons of dirt. The packoos are going to start flipping over. And this one mushroom ranch supports over 25 duplicates on fried mushrooms. So we're going to be okay. I promise. I won't be surprised if stress starts to go up a little bit. These duplicants are getting sopping wet. Remember, the masks will help them breathe, but they will not prevent them from getting other debuffs. For instance, chilly surroundings and the sopping wet debuff. I'd like to put in some showers. That would really help with the sopping wet. I just don't have time. Ooh, there's some more copper ore. Let's do this. In addition to the time, I mean, where would I even put the showers? It would be great to have a nature reserve with the showers stacked in there because all of our duplicants' morale is not as high as it needs to be for me to start putting in more skill points. Ooh, gave up's ready for another one. Have some more improved carry. In the future, I would like to have a sustainable mushroom farm somewhere here, but right now it's still too warm. Sitting at around 50 degrees thanks to this wonderful cool steam vent. Eventually it should relax a little bit, but the mushrooms can only go up to 35 degrees. So that is definitely a limiting factor of where we put these mushrooms. What's going on here? Oh, they're in oxygen. That will fix here in a little while as more carbon dioxide drops. I could also pump some from right here. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that real quick just to get the calorie count. Oh, there's so many pipes. Never mind. Juice not worth the squeeze. Keep in mind, the mushrooms don't actually eat any carbon dioxide. What's happening is the carbon dioxide is compressing down here, and there's only 780 grams, so the carbon dioxide level will drop a little bit. But once again, considering we have all these bedrooms right here, it will all eventually fall. Planning out the initial design for the spawn over here. It's going to be sitting around this spot. It's not too bad, because then I can bring the pipes in here. I'm going to do some careful digging around here, keeping the wheezeworts in play for as long as possible. The only bad thing is all these wheezeworts look like they were planted in snow. This one here is ice. So all of these will eventually melt, but once we have the ranch full of Drecos, we'll have plenty of phosphorite. Before I print that dupe, let me put down the initial framework. In fact, I think I'll start from this level. That way I don't have to deal with this debris or the water. And there we go. 6 gold amalgam gas pumps, and I'm going to get this spawn built and ready to set up, and I'll probably reintroduce it to you once I figure out the cooling solution here. But again, the priority is going to be natural gas because I want to get some generators down in here to start producing more polluted water. And yeah, I am aware that's going to heat this place up, but eventually I think we'll have an industrial sauna somewhere around here to contain that heat. I just don't know where yet. So on we go to duplicate number 34. Oh, barbecue. That looks tasty. We have a loud sleeper, a gastrophobic, and a biohazardous. We don't mind the loud sleeper so much. And Joshua is an operator tidier, which means that could be another mechatronics engineer for us. Plus, they start with Critter Ranching 1. Yeah, I think we're going to take the Joshua and just make sure they're not sleeping around anybody else. So welcome to Duplicity, duplicate number 34, Majin Lord. Now, once again, the easiest way to do this is just to click a random cot and make sure Majin Lord is assigned to it, because the rest of the dupes that get printed out will naturally end up filling in these barracks, so chances are they'd be on the same shift. You could also just manually assign them to a shift where you know they're not going to be sleeping next to anybody. But for now, Majin Lord's going on to shift 8. In the same barracks with Citrus Mod, who is also a loud sleeper. Now I'm going to try something a little different with Majin Lord. Yeah, they're eventually going to be a mechatronics engineer, but they're also skilled in ranching. So I'm going to have them in ranching and operating and not in building. So we'll have other dupes building rails and stuff, but Majin Lord will spend their time ranching critters and operating machines. I'm starting to see some idle dupes, which is a good sign, because that says I'm staying ahead of the dupe labor curve. So I am going to start extending our build down south with the end goal of finding some more vents and geysers. Yes, the duplicates are going to get chilly once again. Ooh, there's naturally planted sleet wheat. That will be nice. Let me make sure I put that on the menu. Frost buns on the way. This natural geyser over here is going to be a lot easier to get into because I don't have to worry about conserving any of the gases because, well, it's entombed, so there is no natural gas. So I'm just going to come in here and start building. Oh, since I'm going to be in there and getting the itchy eyes anyways, I might as well grab some of these Drecos. Let's see if any of those will come with us. But this one over here is going to be a little bit more complicated. I'm having one of my super strong, indestructible liquid logs here. Oh, Shovel! Come back here! Come back here! I need to move you somewhere. I don't have any obsidian rooms set up. quite yet, but I will make an exception for you. That shovel must have came in through here, but starting to get some wild shovels going would definitely help with some calories. Down to 47,000. Now, where is the puppy farm going to be? I don't see why this place won't work right here. We'll just do something like that. And then put in a nice steel door. Actually, I don't even think it needs to be steel. I think any pneumatic door will help. So I will just throw in a copper door. Progress is being made over here at the natural gas geyser. This should be able to get us in here nicely. I will put a little bit of automation by using an Atmos sensor just in case we ever want to control the flow here. This gas pump is made out of steel. Remember, your natural gas geyser does erupt at 150°, so you have to take that into account. And we're also going to analyze the natural gas geyser, which none of these dupes are going to enjoy. We're talking some popped eardrums, major eye irritation, holding their breath, soggy feet, just another day on the colony. Now, when you are building these enclosures for your wild shovels, you want to make sure there's nothing in here. Yeah, they don't eat abyssalite, but if there's any regolith or sand, they can end up chewing it up, and then when they spit it out, it could go right here on the door tile, which would allow them to escape if it wasn't sort of separated on an island. Now, where did you go? Oh, I see you. I'm going to set the command. It'll stay there until a dupe can actually grab the shovel, so it might be a little while. But once we set it, we can forget it, and eventually there'll be a happy little shovel in there. Look at that! Hi, little buddy! Oh, it does look like they may have already laid their egg, though. Since they're 78, where did you put your little egg? There's really no telling. They could have laid it up here before they came down. So, that's no good. But it's a start. That'll be 16,000 calories here in 22 cycles. Even though right now we are up to 110,000. The mushrooms have kicked in. In fact, let's make sure nobody's eating any raw mushrooms. I haven't done this yet. Raw meal ice is a no-no. Raw egg, raw meat, pacu filet, no thank you. I mean, even the grub fruit doesn't need to be eaten, nor do the spindly grub fruits. Good news on the vent and geyser front. We finished the dig down through this biome. Ooh, forgot a fire pole. And we have found one right here. So we will take advantage and go say hi. And look at this. It's more slime biomes. You've got to be kidding me. And of course, there's a point of interest building that's going to stop my awesome little ladder rung here. Am I going to end up using the biobot? I don't think so. So I could disassemble this whole thing. Maybe that's the way. There is a little bit of oxygen down here, which will help for the duplicates to be able to breathe. Yes. Give me the good news. It is an iron volcano. While it's not the good news that we wanted because of, you know, water and oxygen, I'll take an iron volcano every day of the week. Well, with that being said, let's keep digging. A little unlucky on this pod. Here at cycle 96, we have a narcoleptic, which can be dangerous in some situations. We only have the option of 2 dupes, a building impaired decorator or a narcoleptic mechatronics engineer. I don't know if we'll ever end up using that many decorators. We already have 2 or 3. So I think we are going to grab this stinky and just deal with the fact that they fall asleep sometimes. Welcome to the colony duplicate number 35, Miss Pandamanda. Oh, we have some trouble brewing. I did not foresee this. The water coming up from that cool steam vent is almost 50 degrees. Not a huge deal except for the fact that, well, it's spreading its heat into the mushrooms. We already have 1 dust cap that has stopped growing. The rest of this water is 65 degrees. Ooh, we can finally seal this thing in if I get a nice sweep going. I do have some ice though, so I think the solution of the day is just going to be a bunch of ice temperature shift plates. It'll cool off the area and the water and hopefully help. I don't like wasting too much ice because it comes in so handy, but we do have several biomes that are very chilly and filled with ice, so I'm not too worried about it. To include this gargantuan cold biome. Eureka, we've found oil, and that's going to be a massive oil biome. I'm hoping that's just the very tippy top. I'm also doing a little bit of creative digging over here and hoping to scoot a dupe all the way to this edge to see what else we can find. I'm going to be a little risky with this natural gas geyser. It is dormant right now, so I'm going to try to do all the work by just bulldozing it through, getting it analyzed, and then sealing it up. I could have left this uncorked, but then I'd have to break through these tiles sooner than I'd want to, and this chlorine is just going to come crashing down on us, and it's going to create problems for a little while. so I'm trying to avoid it. This one here is about wrapped up. Looks like we are getting 111.9 grams per second, which is about 1.2 natural gas generators. Plenty of power, but more importantly, we're going to be getting 67.5 grams per second of polluted water. Yes, it's going on the list. With our calorie count skyrocketing so much, I'm going to start peeling back off the meal ice. Remember, we don't have a deep freezer yet. We don't have a method to cool down a deep freezer. The one great thing I love about getting rid of mealwood is it's less duplicate labor, which I know seems very silly considering how many dupes we have. But the more the merrier sort of situation here. Looks like it's probably about time to extend this Great Hall as well. We can go up to 120 tiles. I don't think we will need to. We'll just do something like that. Because when I want to do simple little digs like this, well, we'll have so many dupes that they just get it done in a second. And we're back up to 21 tons of copper ore. Cycle 99, we had 3 dupes this time, a Luddite, a nyctophobic kitchen menace, and a pacifist biohazardous dupe. I'm not crazy about the Luddite, and May only has 1 interest, so this one's going to Bonnie. They're going to be a pick 'em up and set 'em down dupe. Welcome to the colony, duplicate number 36, Glenn Sullivan. We're now up over 235,000 calories, so off comes more meal ice. The idea being, if I can keep the calorie count down to about 100,000, means every dupe will have 3 days worth of food at all time. In fact, it might actually be time to switch over to refrigerators. That'll help save some of the spoilage. Right now, we're getting a minus 9% for the foods being unrefrigerated. How is this line doing? 575 watts? Well, hopefully the refrigerators will only run in eco mode. Oh, we're about to ding over to cycle 100. Everybody get out your party favors. Yay! Oh, happy day. We finished pumping out all this water, so now we can completely cut through this. I'm going to do a couple quick mops. And then we've got a lot of material we're going to be able to recapture. This is nice. I'm also starting to build a trio of natural gas generators that are eventually going to be in an industrial sauna, but right now we have no plastic, so, well, this is what we're dealing with. I built them out of gold amalgam just to give them a little bit of higher thermal capacity, i.e. they can go up to 125 degrees before they start breaking down. And their carbon dioxide pipe I'm having going all the way over here. Also cleaning out this area here. Ooh, no, this is the line. Because I'm going to end up putting a wonderful carbon skimmer down here. Well, we know what we're doing with the polluted water, but I'm going to have to grab some water off of this to charge it, and then we'll end up starting to clean it using the water sieve method. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so once I get it up and going, I'll show you what's going on. Here's the pod once again mocking me. This time giving me ice and aloe vera. On the dupes, it's not so bad. Yeah, we only had an option of 2, and it wasn't going to be Max with their bottomless stomach. So that leaves May, who's a digger builder rocketry, who starts with super hard digging, so they're going to be a great digger builder. Welcome to dupe number 37. Bob ate my Bob. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Both the natural gas geysers are sealed up. This one came in at 126.7 grams. And I'll use this one to show you how I'm doing the math on how much water it'll give us. A natural gas generator requires 90 grams per second of natural gas to run flat out, which, especially at the beginning here, we will be running it flat out. That way I can stockpile as much of that water as I can. But our geyser produces 126.7. Well, 90 divided by 126.7 is 71%. In other words, we still have another 30% of output to throw into another natural gas generator. In fact, it comes out to be about 28.96%. When we go over to this natural gas generator, it only produces 111. So I'm going to have enough natural gas out of that one geyser to run one generator flat out and another generator running an extra 28.96% of the time. So when I multiply that 28.96 times the 67.5 grams per second, because that's all this generator is going to be able to run, we get an additional 19.55 grams per second of water. Well, when we add that to the 67.5, we get a total of 87.05 grams per second of water. Now, granted, this is polluted water, which we're going to have to sieve and all that sort of stuff, but at least it's a 1-to-1 ratio. This natural gas geyser came out just under that at 80.71 grams per second. And if we're talking about oxygen being produced by an electrolyzer, that pretty much means that we have 16.5% of the water requirement for one electrolyzer coming from those two natural gas geysers. But now, I need to get pipes from here all the way down here. So maybe it wasn't the best choice to put it down here, but I just know that's where my industrial sauna is going to go based on where we are digging. Unfortunately, it's going to be somewhat of a haul. Not to mention, we are already going to have a ton of pipes coming through here. So what I think I'm going to do is provide a line that comes from here, goes across, and then straight down. Something like this. Is this going to take a little while? Yes. In fact, I still have bedrooms over there, so I'm going to have to push it over a little bit more. And then create a whole nother down line right through here. I mean, this spot looks just about as good as any. And I'd like to put fire poles there, but I don't think that juice is worth the squeeze, considering they won't be using this area too much. I'm going to dig all the way down through here and then straight across. In fact, I guess I should just go all the way down. This one's going to take us a little while, but I don't have any place to be, and neither do the dupes. Well, the cleanliness of our awesome polluted water area has been destroyed. When I opened this up to sort of dig out a shaft for our gas pipes holding the oxygen, well, some ice fell. The ice then melts and then makes regular water. This makes me a sad boy. Also concerning this biome, I have put a wall in here and added quite a few new deodorizers, changing these tiles over into mesh tiles. I have to build the wall here, that way I can get pipes through, so I know a bunch of polluted oxygen is going to get out. So I figured this will be our line where no polluted oxygen is allowed to come across. And it's time for a new dupe here at Cycle 105. Not too shabby. I'm trying to decide between Frankie and Ari. Yeah, Frankie's decent because they only have a negative and irritable bowel, but Ari starts with a +9 to athletics, which means they'd be useful right out the gate. And I kind of like the idea of having a dupe that doesn't have any priority set. So welcome to the colony, duplicate number 38, Sigwolf. The only consideration I need to make is Sigwolf likes the nighttime, so we want to make sure that they are able to work during the night. So shift 5 looks perfect. We'll start Sigwolf off with some improved carry and just take them right into suit sustainability and exosuit training. They'll probably end up being a pilot one day. Our huge dig shaft down here is coming along well, and I'm also going to add an alternative entrance. This is going to cause hydrogen and chlorine to go all over this base. It's just something that we're going to have to deal with later. But this way, there'll be more oxygen in this shaft. Right now, it's starting to fill up with carbon dioxide, which is, not good. Ooh, look, another venter geyser. Let's go see what this is. By the way, fun fact about this little point of interest here. The community and I have seen this several times in this biome in the past couple years. We call it the island. The island is sort of revered. So with that in mind, I'm going to try to preserve the island as much as I can. Oh, Doritos P and Carolita, what are you doing to me? How in the world did they end up all the way down here? We might want to up the priority on that before they run out of oxygen. Ooh, another Draco. Hopefully we have a skilled builder coming soon. Let me put that on a priority 9. No, you do not have time to cheer, J-Ray. Woo! That was close. We're going to end up emptying even more chlorine gas, but at this point, I don't even care. We'll deal with it in the future by pumping it all to space, but for now, we've got other things to worry about, like our spawn. That's taking forever because I have so many things going on, and it's pretty far away. One of the unfortunate things about this build is these have to be insulated gas pipes, and they cost 400 kilos per pipe. So yeah, the materials cost is high, but it also means the construction cost is high. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Ooh! Another saltwater geyser! Yes! This is glorious. I definitely want to analyze that. Ooh, 95C. This is less glorious. Where is it here? That'll be fine, though. It is dormant right now, so I want to get it analyzed to find out how much saltwater it produces. Hopefully the dupes can get in and out of there before it starts erupting and scalding them. And I'm going to leave this shaft only 1 tile wide. That way the heat being generated by the geyser has a much more difficult path for getting out. Is that another one? The geysers, they're starting to come in. Everybody rejoice! This geyser ended up being a carbon dioxide geyser, so that is much less exciting. It does give us an opportunity for some chill, though. Some more bad news on the front is the oxygen levels are starting to go down a little bit. we're averaging around 1,000 to 1,500 grams, and it's because this spawn is still not up, and we have 38 dupes breathing. I tell you what, one of the most difficult things about this playthrough is not necessarily the gameplay itself, but it's making an episode out of, 6 or 7 pod prints without actually completing too many projects. Here at Cycle 108, we have another dupe, of course, a bottomless stomach, a pacifist, and a kitchen menace. And I was thinking about the wren just because they have so many interests, although I don't think I've ever printed a tidying, decorating, and researching dupe out. Welcome to duplicate number 39, Colonel Sanders. I think Colonel Sanders is going to end up being a tidying plumber. Well, as long as I can get the auction turned on, otherwise they're not going to be doing any plumbing at all. And ooh la la, we've got another water geyser. This is cool salt slush geyser. Is this number 2? Yes, it is. So I'm going to want to open that as soon as possible because I don't mind the chill at all. I'll also get it analyzed. I wrote it down on my list as a brine geyser. Gonna have to keep that one in mind. It just seems to me, considering it gives out brine, not salty slush. Maybe we should have called it something different? Ooh, I am sensing an opportunity here. Granted, -10 and 95 is still hot. It's definitely easier to deal with than 95 seawater. So what I think we're gonna do here is seal that off and then just build another shaft. And I'll try to give it plenty of room to be able to dump into. Something like this. Not that we don't have anything else to do anyways, but we did finish this main shaft right here, complete with our wonderful insulated gas pipe. The gas pipe is almost finished, heading all the way over to our natural gas geysers. Yeah, there's going to be a smart battery there, but for now, I'm going to keep them unautomated. Eventually, we will put this in a sauna and have a little bit more control once we understand how much water we have on the planetoid, but for now, this will work out well. Also have a large power transformer that is going to be controlling this little setup, and it's pretty simple. After I end up charging it, the water sieve pushes out water, the carbon skimmer cleans carbon dioxide with the clean water, and it ends up turning into polluted water once again. Our spawn is, well, almost finished. It's a work in progress, and we're still breathing okay, so we should be good. I was hoping to get a little bit more progress out of this episode, but I am out of time. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments below. So until next time, much love, happy gaming, and I'll talk to you soon.